In lesson 96, the topic is comparing and ordering integers. There's some different kinds of models that you could use or think of to help you understand this, and one is to think about par in golf. Par is like the average number of shots that it would take for a person to put the ball in the hole. So if a particular hole is like a par 5, that would mean if you take 5 shots to get it in, you're doing pretty good. That's like the average person. But if you get below par, like if you're 3 below par and par is 5, that means it took you 3 less than the average. It took you 2 shots to make it, which is 3 less than 5. So you're actually below the average. And then when you play 18 holes of golf, you might finish like 10 below par or 20 below par, which is really good. It's like a negative number. But if you finish over par, then that's not so good. Like if you're 25 over par and par is 72, you're 25 over. And these numbers just stand for the number of shots it took you to put the ball in the hole. Then you would have shot a 97. It took you 97 shots over 18 holes. So integers are kind of like that. And I started off with this golf example so that you could think about how you compare scores. So if Connor played 18 holes of golf and he finished up 5 below par, that's Connor. And let's suppose Kobe also played, he was his partner, and Kobe scored 2 over par. Who had the lowest score? Who had the best score? I won't answer that. I think you can figure it out. And on to the next slide. Okay, I really can't resist. If Kobe was 2 over par, this would be like Kobe right there. And Connor was 5 below par, he would be here. So I'll just kind of mark this as Kobe. And this is Connor. And if low score wins, which it does in golf, then we have Connor with the low score. And although this is not a topic of this lesson, you might say by how much is his Connor score is better by how much? It would be the difference between +2 and -5. So he won by 7 shots. When you use a number line, it's kind of convenient and easy to compare numbers. If we wanted to compare the size of, let's say, 10 compared to -11, all I need to do is locate both numbers on the number line. So I can find 10 here and -11 here. And the one that's farthest to the left is the smallest number. So -11 is less than +10. Quick review. This symbol is greater than. If I flip it, I have less than. And so by the logical reason that we had earlier, -10 is greater than -11, so I would use the greater than symbol to state the accurate comparison. So think about, it's sometimes hard. The positive numbers are really easy. Like if I did 14 and 6, you're so ingrained with how these two compare that you'd know almost right away that 14 is greater than 6. But if we use the number line as a tool, we locate 14 and we locate 6, and we see the smaller number to the left. So 6 is less than 14, the greater number to the right, which tells us that 14 is greater than 6. So there's a symbol. But what if we make it -14 compared to -6? Now your logical reasoning may fail you because you know that 14 is greater than 6, but you're used to working in the world of positive numbers, and all of a sudden this is negative. If we use the number line, it will help you get the right answer. So here's -14, and here's -6. Smaller numbers are to the left. -14 is to the left of -6. This is to the left. So this has to be a less than. How can we make sense of that? Well, 14 below par is a lower score than 6 below par, so it's less than. Let's move on to another model, apart from golf, that may be helpful for you. Okay, the two kind of models that we've looked at so far were golf, and you know that a score of 7 over par is a higher score and not as good as 7 under par. So 7 below par, like -7, sort of like that, is a better score. Lower score, it's a less than score, because low score wins in golf, than +7. And you know, you can relate it to a number line. If I drew a number line and I put +7 and 0 and -7, -7 is to the left of +7, this way to get to -7. So numbers to the left are smaller, so that helps you know that -7 is a smaller number. Another model that's helpful is temperature. If this was a thermometer, it's sort of a vertical number line. And we would have, like, if we're in centigrade, it's nice to use that. 0 degrees centigrade is freezing, and 7 below is really cold, and 7 above is also really cold, but not as cold as 7 below. 7 below is a lower temperature. So think of the lowest temperature, like, easy one to get. 2 degrees is less than 10 degrees. That's pretty easy to understand, because that's just like positive whole numbers. But how does -2 compare to -10? Well, on a thermometer, 10 below 0 would be further down than 2 below 0. So -2 is actually greater than -10. Again, it just demonstrates that our logical reasoning for positive numbers, thinking about how we compare size of positive numbers, has to kind of switch around when we talk about negatives. So you have to be careful. Your intuition might be accurate, and intuition meaning I think I know the answer without putting a lot of thought into it. It's like my first guess. It might be accurate if you have a good concept of numbers and negatives, but if you're stuck in the world of positive numbers, your intuition may fail you when it comes to negative numbers. So try to just be logical about it, and you can think of the three models: golf, number lines, and temperature is a really good one to help you to get the concept of how to order and compare negative numbers.